Hello and welcome to this channel, Seen with Chips. If you've been here before, then welcome back. If you haven't been here before, then welcome. You're very welcome. Please consider subscribing and pressing the bell button so that you can be notified of any future videos that I'm going to be making. Now, normally subscription, the word subscription is associated with a cost, but obviously with YouTube, it's a totally free subscription that you can watch the videos for nothing, which is in this day and age, you don't very often get something for nothing. Anyway, today what I've done, I've been down to the Hog Farm, which is the Harley Davidson specialist, my friend who is a mechanic down there. And what we've been talking about this time is when with it being winter time at the moment, a lot of people sort of start tinkering around with their bikes and changing stuff and just generally giving it a service ready for this summer or the spring when we can start riding again. So today we're just going to look at something that maybe you don't very often think about.
Okay there, so as Steve has just said, you know, things to think about really with your bike, with the servicing elements and other things. But one thing I just want to touch on, that maybe a lot of you replace your brake pads, which is a good thing. You've seen they've worn down, your brake pressure's gone a little bit low, and you're going to put some new brake pads in over the winter. What not everybody, but what a lot of people do not do is actually check the disc. I know we all check it, that we get that little pulse on the front and then we know we've got a bent disc. But what we're just going to show you now is that on every disc on your bike, it has a minimum thickness. And I must state that it's minimum thickness. And that's should be looked at every time you change the pads. If you're riding a bike with probably 30,000 miles on it, 40,000 miles on it, you are coming very close to needing a new set of discs if you've not already gone too far. If you're feeling that lever's coming in a lot more and you're thinking, oh, my brakes are not as good as they used to be, I need a new set of pads, you probably need a new disc as well. So we'll just show you on this disc we've got off. This is a disc that we've taken off. It's gone too far, and we can show you that it's actually gone too far, and it's been replaced. So let's just show you the minimum thickness on there now. Okay, Steve, so this is the disc we've taken off. You can actually physically feel there's a little bit of a ridge on this disc, and you can probably actually see it, hopefully, with the camera and the light that's on it. There is actually a little bit of a ridge, so that's a bit of a giveaway for you to look at. But like we were saying, you know, everyone has a part number on. Here's the part number of the disc. But here above it, it says minimum thickness 0.180.
Might not be picking that up, but it's on every disc, isn't it?
It's on every disc, and you can see it. Yeah, you can. Yeah. You know where to look. It's in between, obviously, to the mount. Yeah. So obviously what you need is you need a caliper or a vernier. We've got a bit of a cheating one actually, because we've got a normal caliper, and then it's just been ground out. Zero it up, so it's ground to go around as the disc is worn. They're only cheap, these things now, but they're good enough for any guy in the garage just having a look. So over the ridge, don't know if Steve can see that, over the ridge, and you can see there it's 0.18. So it's actually right on where?
Right on the limit.
Right on the limit of being worn. That's why it was replaced. It's not an expensive tool to buy this. You can buy them anywhere. They used to be really expensive. They're not anymore. It would be worth you buying people to buy one, just as an own maintenance thing. It won't be lost. Buy one, check your disc. If you can feel a ridge on there, guys, you're looking at definitely probably needing to replace your disc. There is people that say, oh, you can have them reskinned and you can surface them out. They're expensive discs, but would
it get to the point? I mean, I've replaced discs on my bike, but normally it's because they're bent or they're warped.
Yeah.
Would it get to the point where they would be worn before they get bent, or?
Yes, that can happen in both ways. A bent disc usually is if you've grabbed a brake for any reason and they've been hot. believe it or not, we tend to bend the discs. As stupid as this is when you stopped and you've overbalanced all of a slightly and you've wobbled and you've grabbed that brake and it's gone. And it's usually on the touring models, and you'll get a bend on it, and you'll feel that as a pulse on your foot or on a heartbeat. But look at one of our back videos that we've done in the past. We've got one on there that you can get that same scenario with a stuck caliper. The pistons are not coming out correctly. We've covered that already. So if people have got that issue, look at that video as well, because that would be the case. A worn disc is somebody that's got mileage on it, that's looking after the bike. They're putting the brake pads in every year. They're looking, it's worn out, it's not doing, but they're not checking the thickness of the disc.
Would it make a difference if you're putting aftermarket pads on, or?
It can do. It's a very deep subject, really, is the pads, because we have many a conversation about this, that you can go on eBay and wherever and you can get a set of pads for an Harley and they cost you a tenner, and you go to the Harley shop and it costs you 110 quid for a set of pads. And there's a lot of chemistry that goes into making pads. One of my customers actually works for a company that make the pads, and he sat down over a beer with me one night and we started to talk about the composition of brake pads, and it's mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. There's an old saying that, and it's quite true, you get what you pay for. Yeah. If you put a cheap pad in there, yes, it'll work fine, and it will work, and it'll save you a lot of money, and it's fine. It keeps the bike on the road, but be very careful. It saves your life as well at the end of the day. But the composition, what he was stressing to me is that the composition of some of these cheap pads, because they're cheap, is they absolutely damage your discs as well. So it's false economy.
So you can actually, if you're putting aftermarket parts on or cheaper pads on, you could end up wearing your disc.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, I think that's something that not a lot of us think about, to be quite honest.
No, because it's all down to the money at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, I think that could be very useful.
Yeah, let's hope that helps someone as well. All get yourself a pair of calipers for Christmas, because Christmas is coming. We're making this video now. Steve's come down for a beer this weekend. We're almost at Christmas again. Here we are again. You know, you might be watching it in summer, but who knows? Come buy yourself a cheap vernier and have a little look. I'll get on your Santa's list this year.
All right.
Hope that helps you.
Good.